Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes, or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Ron Mars. You are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
no evil shall escape my sight,
but those who worship evil's might.
Beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. That's right, kids. A Green Lantern oath, not a Black Lantern oath. That's right. We're back. The brightest days now. Welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always,
I am Will.
Master of all living cores. All right, so yes, kids. So yes, we're going to start not as long as Blackest Night, but a little Brightest Day journey here. We'll begin here with tonight. We'll cover Brightest Day 0 and 1, and then Green Lantern 53 through 55. With a guest appearance by a certain Bastich.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so I'm trying to think if we have any new Green Lantern news. I believe the Red Lantern Hal Jordan is available now at Target. I think
so. Yeah,
I haven't
seen it, but
I haven't gone in to look. But yeah, I saw it somewhere on a website or something. So
yep,
I'm surprised you didn't get it yet. It's Hal Jordan.
I know. I haven't been to Target. I'm a slacker.
Oh! I just looked on the Target app.
Mm-hmm.
It's saying when purchased online, the Hal Jordan Funko, Red Lantern Hal Jordan, $9.99.
All right.
So remember when the wife asked, you say, "It's $9.99. Come on." I'm
saving money.
Oh, it's on. Yes, the sale 33% off. Come on.
A third off. Yeah, come on, man.
So remember, it's 33% off. This deal's not going to get any better. And remember, the excuse of last resort. It's all Lil's fault.
Exactly. I like it. I like it.
So yes, kids, as of this recording, yes, it is on sale on the Target website for $9.99.
Cool. I might check that out tonight.
I might have to get that. Yeah. Just go to either the website or the app and just type in Red Lantern Hal Jordan and it popped up. So that is cool. I know. I get yelled at for unboxing some of my Funkos, but even has the little stand. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man.
Look, all right. So, yeah, besides that, I don't think we have any new Green Lantern news.
I can't think of anything. Still waiting for the latest issue.
Mm-hmm. I think
does War Journal come out? Did War Journal come out last week or this week?
I think it's this week. Yeah, it comes out this week. Yeah, because the regular Green Lantern was last week. So, yeah, War Journal number 7 comes out this week. So, I'll pick that up tomorrow.
Sweet.
Is Justice Society actually going to come out? Okay. Making a Justice Society of America issue. Boy, that thing just keeps getting later and later. I forget what issue. Was it issue 12 or something? It's like one of the later issues. They were like, yeah, they took it off the solicits. It's not even solicited at this point, so maybe we'll get it this year, kids. I don't know. Does Jeff Johns just overextend himself anymore? Or?
I don't know.
Oh, look, I had a notification. Oh, Ray Plays Games uploaded a new video. So yes, kids, Ray was playing with himself again.
Nice. Hey, did we get any feedback when we were talking, about Cosmos and Collision? I mean, because we always got feedback from Ray on the Quantum Zone.
I know, but he's too busy now. He's a big gamer now. Nope.
Oh, okay.
You got no feedback. Yeah, no. Watch out. I'll get a message in like 2 weeks. We'll be like, "Oh, you guys did Cosmos and Collision?" I'm like, yeah. Oh yes, kids. If you didn't know, yes, Will and I's other love is the Marvel character Quasar. And make sure, if you didn't see it on YouTube, the first week of April, 2 episodes of Marvel Tales over on Capes and Lunatics, with me and Justin usually do. Special guest, Mr. Will Allred, because we talk Quasar, Cosmos, and Collision. Yes, 2 episodes. Quasar.
That's right.
It's up on the shelf there. Okay.
Right there.
I have a little 3 some here. It's like it's Quasar, and then it's Marvel, and then it's Gina's fell.
Oh, cool! Very cool.
When he went nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
In my Marvel, with Abomination arm. All right.
I'm sure they can treat that. There's probably.
Nice. I don't know. I was trying to keep. I've seen somewhere before where people like, I don't know if it's like eBay or whatever. They'll sell just the separate parts, for the people who want to build or build the.
Build a figure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
All right, should we jump into tonight's issues? We got 5.
Let's do it.
All right, so what comes after the Blackest Night? The Brightest Day, kids. All right, so, and again, we have a certain order here, so we'll start with Brightest Day number 0. Why 0? I don't know.
Because 0 issues are cool.
Oh, yeah. All right. I was gonna say I think this has a nice lengthy synopsis. Some of them are like hardly any synopsis, but yeah, this all right. Brightest Day number. I love how it says Volume 1, number 0. June 2010. Carpe Diem. Seize the brightest day. Writers Jeff Johns and Peter Tomasi. Penciler Fernando Pasarin. All right. Inkers Fernando Pasarin, John Dell, Cam Smith, Prentice Rollins, Dexter Vines, and Art Thibert. So yes, that's like 6 inkers. Yep, 6 inkers. And 2 colorists, Peter Steigerwald and Beth Sotelo, letterer Nick J. Napolitano, and editors Eddie Berganza, Adam Schlauman, and Rex Ogle. This one begins in the aftermath of Blackest Night. We see young birds in their nest chirping for food. One of them falls out of the nest and falls to the ground near a tomb on its head, bleeding. We then see Boston Brand, formerly known as Deadman. We see him standing in front of his grave, remembering his life before and after he became known as Deadman. As he's doing that, he takes a sledgehammer and shatters his tombstone. Afterwards, he holds his mask in front of him, wondering what to do now that he's alive. He then sees the dead bird next to his grave. He picks up the body, and just as he's about to put it back in its nest, he notices a white lantern ring on his hand, which lights up and says, "Live." The light surrounds the body of the dead bird, and immediately it comes back to life. Astonishing Deadman. That was my favorite book, Astonishing Deadman.
Nice.
Thank you. After putting the bird back in its nest, the ring calls out to him, asking for his help as he's surrounded by white light and disappears. The scene then jumps to Amnesty Bay, home to Aquaman and his wife Mira. Mira wakes up and finds her husband missing. She goes outside and finds him standing by the ocean. Aquaman was about to go for a swim. It's been a while since he's been in the water, since he came back from the dead. Boy, he must...
It happens.
He must smell then. Arthur is clearly questioning as to why he was brought back when Garth and Tula are still dead. Mira reassures her husband by telling him that at least Garth and Tula are together again. She wants to go swimming and jumps into the water and tries to get Aquaman to come as well, but he's scared as he sees his reflection in the water. His reflection being him when he was a Black Lantern. When we then find Deadman by Curry Lighthouse as he is swallowed by the white light and disappears again. This time, Deadman finds himself at Iron Heights Penitentiary. He finds himself standing in front of the cell of Eobard Thawne, better known as Professor Zoom. He finds Zoom still tied up as he was during the events of Blackest Night the Flash. While wondering why the white light would pick Zoom to live again, he sees a red and yellow light flash right by him. It's Barry Allen, the Flash. However, he's not here to see Zoom. He's here to see another one of his enemies, Digger Harkness, the first Captain Boomerang. Flash comes to apologize to Boomerang about what happened to his son. Flash also tells Digger that of all the people that were dead, he was given a second chance, hoping that he would turn over a new leaf, but Flash knows Digger well enough to know that he won't. It warns him not to even bother trying to escape because he will chase after him. After that, Flash disappears. The scene then jumps to St. Roque, more specifically the Stone Chat Museum, where we find Hawkman and Hawkgirl going over artifacts from their past lives, which Hawkgirl remembers. Hawkman shows Kendra a shield with a symbol of a hawk on it. She remembers it from their lives in the late 16th century. Deadman appears and finds them making love. creeper. As we see an image of Hawkgirl's helmet and an artifact that mysteriously registers the emotion of love, similar to the star sapphire ring. Meanwhile, in South America, we see a group of hikers looking for something. As they continue to make love, Carter begins to see images of him and Kendra in their past lives and tells Kendra about it. He fears that this is the last time he will see her before they are killed, and the cycle they have been trapped in for thousands of years is continuing. But Kendra tells Carter that despite their numerous reincarnations, they should both see their reincarnations as a path for them to live, not hide. Suddenly, a star sapphire gem breaks through one of the artifacts and attaches itself to the claw of Horus. Carter doesn't know what it is, but Kendra tells him that it was a piece of her heart from Zamaron that star sapphire Miri Ram gave to her. Carter then puts the claw on and they fly away, heading south. Meanwhile, back in South America, the hikers have found the bones of Prince Khufu and Princess Chayera, the first Hawkman and Hawkgirl, with a voice saying that the bodies belong to them now. The scene jumps to New York at the abandoned Justice League International headquarters, where we find Maxwell Lord, another person who was brought back to life by the white light. He is watching monitors of his past from the time he shot Blue Beetle, to when Wonder Woman snapped his neck, to when he was turned into a Black Lantern in Black as Night Wonder Woman #1. As he's watching, he plugs himself to a machine and begins to cut himself with a knife and falls unconscious, which Deadman sees, as we then see an image of Justice League International covered in Max's blood. Deadman then finds himself on Mars, home of John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, the last surviving Martian. As Deadman is standing outside of John's tomb, we see two green lights. Here we go, finally. We see two green lights heading towards the pyramid. We then see Jean use his Martian vision to find a special Martian rock that he puts onto his uniform. We then find that what the two green lights were. It's Green Lanterns, Hal Jordan and Guy Gardner, looking for Jean. He meets the two Green Lanterns inside the pyramid and is happy to see familiar faces. Guy surprises Jean by getting him a box full of chocos and some cold milk. Jean shows them around the entire planet. He tells them that he's trying to revitalize Mars so that it can sustain life again. Although he's angry that his wife and daughter did not return in the white light, he hopes that at least he can bring back life to the dead planet. Both Green Lanterns are happy to see their only Martian back, but Jean tells him that he is the only Martian for now. The scene then jumps to Oa, homeworld of the Green Lantern Corps. We see Jade fighting against green constructs with Sornik Natu. Sornik is studying Jade so that she can study her strength levels and how well her body is recuperating after being brought back to life. However, Jade sees this as an attempt by Natu to keep her away from Kal Rayner, but Sornik denies Jade's claims. Jade feels that she's been feeling great since the white light brought her back to life and wonders if Sornik knows that as well, to which Natu reveals that she has known that Jade's powers have been at 100%. She wants to be with Kal, but something is stopping her, to which Natu asks her what it could be. Jade tells her that since she came back, Kal hasn't been looking at her the same way anymore, but the way he looks at Sornik, she can tell that they are in love with each other. She accepts the fact that she and Kal had their chance, but it wasn't meant to be. She's afraid as to how she's going to fit in again in everyone's life since she's been gone for so long. But Kal shows up and tells her that she was never gone, that she was in their hearts the whole time. He tells her to open up her doors and meet people who have missed her for a very long time, most especially her father, Alan Scott, the original Green Lantern. Well, we're going to get back to this during the Justice League Justice Society crossover here. Jade feels bad about murdering Green Lanterns, including Kal and Sornik, when she was under the control of the Black Lantern Ring, but Kal reassures her that she was used by Necron as a weapon of love because of her relationship with Kal. But now that she's back, it's time to forget the past and to embrace the present as he and Sornik leave. Just as Jade is about to join them, she sees the symbol of the Black Lantern Corps and is confused as to what it was. Then we jump to New York City, where we find people gathering for Jihana's funeral. She was killed by Ronnie Raymond when he was resurrected as Black Lantern Firestorm, with the current Firestorm, Jason Rush, as the second half of the Firestorm Matrix. Professor Stein and Ray Palmer are also in attendance, and we're expecting Ronnie to be there as well, but he shows up late, telling Ray and Professor Stein that he had a long night trying to reconnect with friends. He was at a welcome back party thrown by his friends getting drunk. Professor Stein convinces Ronnie to talk to Jason, who's in a mess since Ronnie used him to turn his girlfriend into table salt and ripped her heart out. Ronnie apologizes to him, but Jason is too angry to forgive him and tries to punch Ronnie. But suddenly they fuse together to become Firestorm, with Ronnie in control of the body. Professor Stein, Ray, and an invisible Deadman watch as the two fight amongst each other inside the Firestorm body as Deadman disappears again. The scene then jumps to Kahndaq, where we see a veiled person entering the city. The people crowd around him, and we realize that it's Amon Tomaz, better known as Osiris, who is a member of the Black Marvel family and Black Adam's brother-in-law. He then walks toward the statues of his sister Isis and Teth Adam. He shouts the name of Black Adam and transforms into Osiris. He then takes the two statues and buries them in the sand outside of Kahndaq. The scene then jumps again to Arlington, Virginia, where we see Hank Hall, better known as Hawk of Hawk and Dove, standing in the rain on a stakeout looking for arms smugglers. He's contacted by Dawn Granger, better known as Dove, who tells him that both of them were supposed to be doing this operation together, but Hawk doesn't want to wait for Dove. He finds the armed dealers and attacks them head-on, with Deadman watching the battle from outside, saying that Hawk's going medieval on the smugglers. He defeats them just as Dove arrives. She tells him that the world has gotten smaller since he died as extant. Deadman leaps again and finds himself in the middle of ruins. He realizes that he's in Star City, where one of the Justice League's enemies detonated a bomb in the middle of the city, killing thousands of people in a four square mile area. That was Prometheus, kids.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it was Justice League. Was it Cry for Justice or something? Yeah. It causes Deadman to think about life and death, when suddenly the Ring talks to him again, asking him for his help. Deadman is surrounded by white light and finds trees growing around him. When it's over, we see a bird's eye view of Star City, where the explosion was. That area has been transformed into a green landscape in the shape of a star. Deadman tries to get an explanation from the White Ring, but it doesn't say anything to him. While trying to remove the ring, Deadman realizes that 12 people were brought back to life and that he's the only one with the white ring on his hand. The Ring talks to him again, asking for his help, to help it live. Meanwhile, in Silver City, New Mexico, we find a White Lantern power battery in the middle of a crater. Two men go down towards the battery and try to figure out what it is. A group of people surround the crater, trying to figure out what it is. Suddenly, the battery activates, and when they look up in the sky, they see a person floating above the battery. It's Sinestro, and he's found the White Lantern power battery. Thoughts?
This was a ginormous, 48-page story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, geez, a lot's going on. We're going to find out things, but I guess we can kind of spoil a little bit here, that each of them were brought back for a very specific purpose, and we will find that out, and then we'll find out eventually what that purpose is as we move our way through the series, which was because there are 24 issues, so it came out twice a month for a year, so it was bi-weekly or bi-monthly. Both of those can mean the same thing or completely different things. Isn't English language wonderful?
Well, especially when it comes to comics, yes, it can mean either.
Yeah.
So what did you think?
I thought the art was great.
Oh, the art was great in this, yeah.
There's so much setup in this, that we don't necessarily. I mean, it's all set up. It's about a mysterious beginning. We don't know really what's going on. Mm-hmm. And correct me if I'm wrong. The bones of the original Hawk bodies were found in South America. I thought they were Egyptian.
I was gonna say that's what it said. I'm scrolling through the issue now. Yeah, I know they're Egyptian. Yes, but were they moved, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait a minute. Unless something happened during Blackest Night, I don't know.
Were their original bodies back? How would that even work? There could be a whole army of the Hawks, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's labeled. Yeah, the people find their bodies in South America. See, I don't know how that works.
Hopefully that will be explained later. I just thought that was a little bit weird. But I mean, this is a really good setup issue, and it's 48 page. I mean, that's 4 issues, 4 standard 22-page issues. Sorry, I wish I could add. That's 2 standard 24-page issues. Yeah, math class is tough. Anyway, I mean, it's massive, right? Mm-hmm. And I think issue 1 is still like 30 pages. We get into a regular 22, 23 pages, I think, after those. But there's a lot of story here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we're really not going to get into it, but that whole Star City thing, I mean, that's pretty much right. Oliver Queen, basically, the first year of his book. He gets a new book and he basically hangs out in that forested area.
Ah, okay.
Because there's mysterious things going on in there, but nothing really Green Lantern early.
How Robin Hood-esque.
Mm-hmm. Get it? And then, of course, Sinestro wants that battery.
Sinestro. Now, that's definitely Green Lantern related.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we got a little bit of Green Lantern stuff here. Hal and Guy visiting John Jones. The whole thing with Cal and Sornik and Jade. And then, of course, Sinestro's like, hey, I want more of that white power. Come on.
Yeah, let's go.
And, of course, yes, it's... So, yeah, that'll continue in the Green Lantern. And then we jump back to Brightest Day and then the last two. Okay. Yep. All right. Anything else on this one, or shall we jump to Green Lantern?
I'm good. Anything for you?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay.
All right. Green Lantern 53, Volume 4, number 53, June 2010. The New Guardians, Chapter 1. Writer Jeff Johns, penciler Doug Mank, inker Christian Alamy, Keith Champagne, Mark Irwin, and Doug Mank. So 4 inkers this time. Colors Randy Mayer, letter Nick J. Napolitano, and editors Eddie Berganza and Adam Schlauman. All right, this one opens a Belle Reve prison in Louisiana where we see Hector Hammond in his cell talking in his mind about his past experiences with Green Lantern Hal Jordan. Suddenly, a mysterious voice converses telepathically with Hammond, saying that there's more to life than Hal Jordan. Oh! Do you feel a stab in the heart after that, Will?
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
Get you right here, doesn't it?
Hector doesn't know who this mysterious person is or where he is. We then jump to the dead planet Ryut in Sector 666, former homeworld of Atrocitus and the Black Lantern Corps. We see the mysterious figure who is talking to Hector walking over the bones of the dead people of the planet who were massacred by the Manhunters in chains made by a Green Lantern ring. The figure talks about the Guardians of the Universe, the Blackest Night event, and the recent arrival of the Brightest Day. It appears that the figure has some association with the Guardians, since he says that he put the Brightest Day in the Green Lantern Oath for a reason. He enters a temple where it shows images from the Blackest Night on the door. The door opens and we see the symbols of the 7 Lantern Corps with Parallax trapped and chained above the symbol of the Sinestro Corps. So this is where Parallax ended up, kids.
Mm-hmm.
The scene then jumps to Coast City, more specifically Ferris Aircraft, where we see Hal Jordan and Carol Ferris talking about the past. When Hal asks Carol if the history between the two of them is good, she says that some of it has been good. She then talks about how she accepted the Star Sapphire ring and became part of the Star Sapphire Corps to battle the Black Lantern Corps, and after defeating them, helped clean up the graveyards with the Justice League. Both of them agree that talking is one of the things they are not good at doing, so Carol suggests they go flying. As Hal and Carol fly through the desert, Hal asks Carol if she loves him. Carol avoids answering the question by reminding Hal that he's seeing Cowgirl, who he works with. When's the last time we saw Cowgirl?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, we see her in the Grant Morrison.
Yeah. But I mean,
in the future.
Up to this point. When's the last time we saw her? Suddenly, Hal picks up something heading towards them and fast. Oh boy, how many times has this happened? Carol tries to avoid it, but Hal heads straight for it and his plane is destroyed. Just as Carol sees the explosion, she sees the light heading towards her, and her plane is destroyed as well. We then see both of them in their lantern uniforms facing against their attacker, Sinestro. Every time. Hal reminds Sinestro that after the battle against the Black Lanterns, they made a truce between each other. It hasn't even been 24 hours, and Sinestro is attacking them. So Hal and Carol attack him in response. However, Sinestro is not here to fight them and reminds Hal that the truce still stands. The reason why he's there is because he's searching the entire planet. He's found the entity, and it's asking for him as the White Lantern power battery is still in the crater it created when it landed on Earth. The scene then jumps to Metropolis, where we see Lex Luthor looking at pieces of Black Lanterns. He reveals that after Necron's destruction, millions of Black Lanterns on Earth and across the universe spontaneously combust, while the remnants of only a few thousand were left behind. It appears that Lex is looking for a Black Lantern ring, and although many people have tried to recover a black ring, none have been found, but he wants one. Suddenly, an orange light shines behind Lex. It's Larfleeze of the Orange Lantern Corps, who says that he's still hungry and standing on top of the Guardian Sade, who pledged herself to Larfleeze to be his guardian after he helped them defeat the Black Lantern Corps. Larfleeze tells Lex that before he returns to Okara, he wants to know more about Earth, since Lex told him that everyone is like them, they want something. He then asks Lex, what is the most valuable thing people can possess on Earth? Luthor tells him power, but Larfleeze responds by saying that he already has power. In the Orange Lantern ring, he has power in the Orange Lantern ring. He then asks Lex the same question again. This time, Lex says land, which excites Larfleeze, but since he doesn't know what land is, he wants some of it. What is this, the movie? We are then taken to the remains of the Hand Mortuary, the funeral business owned by Black Hand's family. We see the Flash putting headstones above the graves of people who died in the blackest night. Also with him is St. Walker, the Blue Lantern Corps. Walker heads toward a grave and says a prayer of sorts. Once he's done, he heads to another grave and recites the same prayer, intending to go to every grave and say the prayer. The scene then jumps to Yzamald, homeworld of the Red Lantern Corps, where we see Atrocitus saying he doesn't want to go back to Earth to a member of the Green Lantern Corps. The Green Lantern tells Atrocitus that he needs his help in fighting against the Guardians of the Universe, but Atrocitus tells him that he won't stop until the Green Lantern Corps and the Guardians are dead. But the Green Lantern reminds the Red Lantern that he values life almost as much as the Green Lantern Corps does. Atrocitus knows he's taking a risk in holding off on his attack on the Guardians, but the Green Lantern tells him that he's desperate to bring them together and that he needs an answer. As Atrocitus turns around, he sees not one Green Lantern, but two. It's Guy Gardner and Ganthet. Guy tells Ganthet that he's in as well with him and Atrocitus, but warns the former Guardian that if they go through with this, his friendship with Hal Jordan is done for, which Ganthet is aware of. Then we see Hal flying toward the White Lantern power battery, wondering where it came from. And the story continues in Brightest Day #1.
Which we'll get to in a moment.
Yes.
Yeah, there's lots of jumping around with this one. I mean, the art's... Who was the artist on this one again?
Hold on. We got... Doug Menck was the penciler, and then we had like 4 inkers. Oh,
gotcha. So, because the art did change a little bit, because it had been Ivan Reyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I thought this... I think we were chatting about this before we hopped on, is that I know I read this, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember a ton of it either.
So it's like we're in new territory. It's like it's a new issue. Yay.
Exactly.
But I thought it was good. We're building up to the mysterious stranger who has captured Parallax and will very soon capture Ion, spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we'll capture a few of the others as well.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward.
Exactly. But yeah, I like that cover with all of them on there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I thought this was a good issue. What'd you think, man?
Yeah, I liked it too. But again, it kind of sets up this one kind of sets up the Green Lantern books coming up, because at the end there, that scene with Guy and Ganthet, it says, follow, the story into, what is it? Guy, Green Lantern Emerald Warriors #1, Green Lantern Corps 48, and of course, follow Hal Jordan, the Brightest Day #1. Oh yeah, because I think next week we're gonna get to it. The cover for the next Green Lantern Corps, it's like it's Kyle, I think it's John and Ganthet, so I can't remember if
because Guy goes off pretty much into that Emerald Warriors book.
Yeah. Which I mean, it's kind of cool, but also too, I'm like I kind of missed the friendship between Guy and Kyle. Yeah.
Yep, I get that. And I guess so at this point we have a Green Lantern book, we have an Emerald Warriors book, we have the Corps book, and we have Brightest Day.
Mm-hmm.
So really, before the relaunch in New 52, we really kind of have 4 Green Lantern books.
At least for a year, yeah.
For at least a year, yeah.
That's crazy. All right. Anything else, or should we get back to Brightest Day?
Let's get back to the Brightest Day.
All right. Let's see. Okay, this synopsis is nowhere near as big. All right. Brightest Day #1 from July 2010. Second Chances. I think writers again are Jeff Johns and Peter Tomasi. Pencilers: Ivan Reyes, Patrick Gleason, Adrian Saif, Scott Clark, and Joe Prado. So 5 pencilers. Inkers: Vincente Cifuentes, Mark Irwin, Eau Claire Albert, and Dave Beatty. So 4 inkers this time. Well, like you said, I mean, not as big as #0, but again, this is a slightly larger issue than normal.
30 pages, I think, of story, so it's big.
Colors Peter Steigerwald, letterer Rob Clark Jr., and editors Eddie Berganza, Rex Ogle, and Adam Schlauman. In Silver City, New Mexico, 2 park rangers find the White Lantern in a crater, and as they try to lift it, Green Lantern Hal Jordan, Star Sapphire Carol Ferris, and Sinestro appear. One of the rangers sees Sinestro and attempts to shoot him. Sinestro violently responds, but is stopped by Green Lantern. The 3 lanterns look at the White Lantern. Sinestro and Green Lantern reveal and discover that they are unable to lift the White Lantern. Star Sapphire says it's the sword and the stone, and Green Lantern explains the metaphor to Sinestro. Meanwhile, Deadman is on a cruise ship from which Somali pirates are abducting little children. Deadman tries to stop them, but is stopped by his ring when Aquaman and Mirror come aboard and stop them. And that's the whole synopsis. But yeah, it fails to mention, Aquaman finds a horrifying twist to his powers. Now he commands dead sea life.
Dead sea life, which is pretty horrifying.
I know. Like, that giant squid was one thing, but like the shark that attacks that one pirate, it's like, you could tell, like, you see like the decaying tail on it and stuff. Yeah.
Zombie shark.
Enough with your Sharknadoes. Yeah, zombie sharks. Jeez. Here, I'm opening up this issue because I swear there was something else in here, but I know there wasn't as much going on as there was in that issue 0. But we also get the return of Black Manta. Yeah,
and the Hawks.
The Hawks
recover their bodies.
Yes. And then, we see Ronnie Raymond and Jason Rush are unable to separate as Firestorm.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if Black Manta kind of pulled like a Joker, where it's like, he was content to like live a normal life while his arch enemy was dead, but the minute Aquaman's back, it's like
murder spree, and then off into the
just murders people and then goes and gets that armor out of the ocean.
Yeah. I thought that was a little over the top, but whatever.
Yeah. But I'm just like, I get wanting to protect people, but like that ranger like shooting at Sinestro, I'm like, you really think you're going to do anything? I'm like, Green Lantern's there. Just like Green Lantern take care of him.
Exactly. All you're going to do is provoke him.
But yeah, he says, they're like, Hal was like, what is this White Lantern? And Sinestro says, it's the entity. It's
evolved. Did they say it's evolved?
It dissipated in the sky and it coalesced back together. And Carol's like, it transformed into a power battery. He goes, it's evolved into a White Lantern and fell back to Earth. But I love when Hal's like, you can't lift it, can you, to Sinestro? And he's like, can you?
Yeah.
I love, what in the Guardian's unspoken names is the sword and the stone? But yeah, of course, with that Aquaman scene, we still see Deadman still getting pulled around by that ring. No one can see him still, and he can't take.
Well, and something happens when Sinestro, Carol, and Hal all try to lift it, or is that in the Green Lantern issue?
Well, I know when like Hal's trying to lift it here, it's like a flash of light, but I think we get more into that in the Green Lantern issue.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, John Jones still working on Mars. Looks like some plant life or something sprouted out of the ground, and then he kind of freaks out. Almost looks like a Black Lantern again.
Black Lantern.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He thinks strange things are afoot on Mars.
Oh yeah, he gets he kind of gets a vision of him like choking out the scientist who originally brought him to Earth and stuff. And there's a girl there. I must search out this girl. But yeah, like you said, the Hawks. Well, they go after their bodies, but one of the guys who were out gets away with the bodies and I guess takes it to Hath Set, the guy who's always after them every life. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Because the last page, get Black Manta back in that armor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's that. Anything else, or should we get to back to Green Lantern?
Back to Green Lantern.
All right. Two issues of Green Lantern in a row.
All right.
Yay. All right. Will's just chomping the bit to get the Lobo.
Oh yeah. Lobo.
All right. Hopefully the synopsis isn't too long for you. All right. The New Guardians, Chapter 2, from Green Lantern 54, July 2010. Right. Jeff Johns writing. Doug Menck again. Inkers Christian Alamy, Tom Guyon, Keith Champagne, and Doug Menck. So 4 inkers this time. Colors Randy Mayer and Gabe Edelab, and letterer Nick J. Napolitano, and editors Eddie Berganza. I wonder if every book has like a bunch of inkers because they're kind of spread thin because of the Brightest Day, and now
maybe,
we're gonna be adding Emerald Warriors here at some point. So
And and because Brightest Day is coming out twice a month.
And the first two ones are bigger, so.
Yeah, you got to keep everything in sync, right? You can't slip, so.
So everyone's kind of sharing duties here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ready for this long synopsis? All right.
Go for it.
Oh, wait a second. Is this... Lobo comes to Earth to claim a bounty on Atrocitus's head. I thought that was next issue, but okay.
Yeah, I thought that was next issue, too.
That's kind of the end of the issue, but okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me open this up.
I thought it was cool that, let's see, we got more... the mysterious figure frees Sodom Yat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's surprising, isn't it, that it's in this book and not Green Lantern Corps?
Yeah, I know. And then he takes Ion.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, and then there's the whole thing, basically the roving gang that's like terrorizing the subway in New York, and then they run into Atrocitus and Dexstar.
Dexstar, yeah. Yep.
Oh, Atrocitus. I love they try to shoot the cat, don't work. Then Atrocitus just rips his way into the train. This city's full of rage because of humans like you. I taste it. I am it.
Yep.
But yeah, then we see the scene in New Mexico again with Hal and Sinestro and Carol.
That's when they all try to lift it. Then they get visions of the entities, right?
Oh yeah, but they all try to lift it together. That's when they get that big flash. Help me live.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see Aquaman and the rest. Yeah, it's when they all three tried to lift it. Yeah, that was it. Oh, and then it says find them, and so Hal says find who? Aquaman? Find them. The Predator, Ophidian, which I guess is the orange one. Adara, the blue one. Proselite. Is that the Star Sapphire one? The Butcher, the red one. Ion, which is when we see the whole scene with Sodom. Yeah. But yeah,
I like how he takes care of Daxam because boom, the sun goes red. Mm-hmm. All the Daxams that are flying around are not flying around anymore, and he's left on Daxam.
Oh yeah, because the mysterious figure pulls Sodomite out of the sun and says, "Yeah, you sacrificed, to save your people to, change the star from red to yellow, and thus empowering. But your people are murdering xenophobes who would sooner use their newfound abilities to execute all who are different. It is time you turned your back on them as they turn their back on you." So they, like I said, sun goes red, they all lose their powers, but then see Sodomite just laying on the ground as a Green Lantern again. Which of course, and then the mysterious figure, yes, again, chains up Ion now, so Parallax and Ion are chained.
Mm-hmm.
So Hal's like, back at the White Lantern, Hal's like, what's going on? And Sinestro, it spoke. I know it spoke, but it spoke of the entities, Jordan. It's asking us to find them. But then when Hal grabs it again and says, Atrocitus will help, and it sends them to New York.
I think, so first of all, Hal's not dumb. He's brash, right? But I think around Sinestro, he's purposely obtuse just to annoy the crap out of Sinestro,
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. That makes me happy.
Yeah. And I think Hal's kind of frustrated too, especially when Sinestro's around when he doesn't have answers,
Yeah.
Because he'd love to tell Sinestro, I have all the answers. But yeah, they see the people saying, he saved us from the crook. And Carol says, I can see their auras, Hal. These people were saved. Are loved by many. Love was protected. And he's like, by who?
Atrocitus.
Yes.
And Dexstar. Don't forget Dexstar.
Yes. Dexstar is like kind of eating the punks they fried. And then Atrocitus is drawing something with the blood. Where are the entities? Then Hal, they show up, and Hal says, asking the universe questions again by spilling blood? That's a no-no, right? Especially on my home turf. But he says, I defer to your terrestrial laws, Jordan. I use lethal force only in defending innocence. Hal says, and then feeding them to your cats?
And then he has a boot, and he kicks Dexstar away. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yes, while saying, go get some meow mix, Garfield.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Carol says, How? I sense Atrocitus' sincerity. There's a spark of love in his heart that wasn't there. And he says, I have no love. I only have rage. But yeah, Atrocitus says, I've learned things, Jordan. Things about the balance of the universe, the sacred mission I'm undertaking, and constructs. Now he can make constructs. He can make the giant mirror construct, which Hal throws a shark construct at.
Of course.
But then Atrocitus says, I don't have to explain anything to you. And Hal says, then I'll have to make you talk. And then we hear a voice say, "Enough talking, you ask me, and brightest day and blackest night. Who's up for a big bad fight?" And it's Lobo.
Lobo.
With his chain around Hal's neck. Yep. I love next. Lobo punches people with rings hard. There's your plot for the next one, kid. Sorry.
That's the synopsis for the next one. Done.
Pretty much, but all right. So thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I thought those were pretty good. It's people of Earth. I don't think if they're really thinking about it, really want a lot of ring bearers on the planet because bad things happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of bad things happen around the ring bearers. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Atrocitus. That's something that I think we're going to get into eventually. Is that Atrocitus really is the only one that has a brain in the Red Lanterns.
Yeah.
That changes later, and I think I know why, but I haven't read it, so I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing that. But not only does he have a brain, he's actually pretty conniving, which I think is cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, isn't it just because he's so old and like powerful, like being and yeah, because everyone else gets overwhelmed by the rage and stuff when you put that ring on.
Yep.
All right. So, anything else? Should we get to our last issue?
Let's get the last one.
All right, I'll do the credits. Surprisingly, there's no synopsis for this issue. This very detailed and plot. There's no synopsis for it. All right.
Lobo punches people with rings really hard. There you go.
Exactly. All right, Green Lantern 55, The New Guardians, Chapter 3, August 2010. Writer John. I think it's the same team. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Doug Meg penciler, still the same. What is that? 4 inkers, two colorists. Randy Mayer, Gabe Edelab, letterer Nick J. Napolitano. Yeah. All right. Like I said, no synopsis. So all right, let's see what we got here. So, I mean, it is interesting. There's one point that's like the end of this thing, but
I mean, so. I get Lobo strong. Hal says he gave Superman a bloody nose one time. But he's not super fast.
No.
He can't fly.
He's just super strong and he's basically invulnerable.
Yeah. So what would our pal Quasar do?
Bubble him.
Bubble him up. Get him out of, the city, right?
Exactly. Hell, if you can contain him long enough, throw him in a sign cell.
Exactly. Well, we know how that works out for the worst most times, but whatever.
Lord, I don't think I've seen this before. This must have been a variant cover.
Oh,
Lobo with the rings, yeah.
With the rings,
saying, "I'm going to stick these rings where you can't see their light."
That's so
Lobo.
So Lobo.
All right. Who's this? Oh, then we kind of at the beginning of this, we kind of see the Spectre.
Oh yeah. Who's chasing down something that killed a lot of cows, it looked like.
Yeah.
He feels rage? Is that what he said?
Maybe, yeah, because when he touches it, you see like a red almost. So I wonder if it's the red entity, because he said...
Yeah, because we did see 2 of them on Earth in Atrocitus' little blood map thing.
Yeah, because there's like a red word bubble that says, "Stay away," and he says, "I feel your rage, entity, but you will soon feel mine." So yeah, maybe he's going after the red... Then back to New York City for this highly intricate plot where Lobo punches people.
Yes.
But yeah, he says there's a bounty on Atrocitus. Lobo says, "Is your name Atrocitus? Who wants to know?" I'll take that as a yes. He says, the guy who put out the contract on your ugly mug wants to remain anonymous. He said he wanted you on his doorstep, dead or alive. What's it going to be? And then, of course, Atrocitus vomits that red flame on him.
Yeah. And then I think Lobo says, "Dead it is, then."
Yeah, headbutts him. "Dead it is." And they crash into a tour bus. But yeah, Carol's like, "That's Lobo? Yeah, he's a bad guy, right? Intergalactic bounty hunter. One of the only people, quote unquote, I've ever seen give Superman a bloody nose." So yeah, then Carol's like, "Well, whose side should we be on?" And, Hal's like, "Well, because the White Lantern says, Atrocitus has your mission, Hal Jordan." Then Hal jumps on Lobo's bike. "My mom always said bikes were dangerous. Let's see if she was right."
Yeah.
Then Lobo calls Hal Square Jaw.
Yeah, I get that they want to make Lobo look like a threat, but I feel like Sinestro or Hal should make short work of him. you know?
Yeah, between Sinestro, Hal, and Carol, Lobo shouldn't be that much of a problem. And Atrocitus. This guy, Lobo shouldn't be that much of a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Hal hits him with his own bike and says, no bounty hunting on Earth, blah, 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 no maiming or killing Lobo. Ain't no fun. And Hal goes, come on, Lobo, you know the rules by now. Lobo, I ain't never been much for rules. And Hal makes some green brass knuckles and says, me neither.
Which was very satisfying.
I almost think Sinestro has the best line in this issue. Lobo, your reputation and your odor precedes you.
Very Sinestro.
Sinestro just brings up a whole bunch of Gatling guns, starts firing at him. Fetal Skiz, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting someone wearing a power ring anymore. I don't know what god ate a rainbow and threw it up across the universe.
But
I'm going to find out so I can shove it back down his throat. You flying glow fairies have been clogging up the place. And it's big enough for all of us. And Sinestro agreed and blows him up. Carol puts him in one of those crystals. And Sinestro, you seal Lobo into your hallucination-inducing crystal. Carol, I thought it might sedate him. You've been encased in a sapphire crystal before. It shows you your greatest love, which in your case, I'd guess, was a mirror. Sinestro, yes, a mirror. How humorous. But yeah, Atrocitus tells Hal, I'm not here for war. I'm here to save my entity and therefore save life. I'm here to find the Butcher before the evil that already claimed Parallax and Ion does.
Uh-oh.
As we see the mysterious figure head for Las Vegas. That Lobo breaks free and says, thanks for the peep show, Pinky, but if you want to know what I really love, listen up, and whispers in Carol's ear, and she slaps him with a big purple hand. But Hal asks Atrocitus who's hunting the entities. I do not know. Someone bad. It's like, someone bad? Can you narrow it down?
Yeah, that's
Lobo,
a really long list.
And Lobo's like, bad's relative. It's not like it's but that's not something like Green Lantern understands. Blah, blah, blah. Sees everything in black and white. Oh, he punches Hal right in the nose. He's asking Atrocitus who's going to come quietly. Oh, but then Dexter shows up. Basically takes down Lobo's dog.
Yeah.
And then Hal says, you're lecturing me about Gray's, Lobo? I watched my city die. He's like, you still crying over that?
Yeah.
Maybe his place had a tissue. This isn't a joke. Blah, blah, blah. Good or bad, no one else is going to go through what I did. No one is going to get hurt because of these things. That means, for the time being, God help me. You attack one of us, you attack all of us. Those all four of them have their rings pointed at them. What's it going to be, a war or a day off? Lobo, yeah, I'm the one with the screwed up priorities, so he takes off. And Hal says, Hal figures, he's like, that's a little too easy. And Carol's like, you call that easy?
Yeah.
Sinestro says he didn't leave because he was bored or had another agenda. He left because of you, Jordan. Whether Lobo would admit it or not, I think you frightened him. Maybe there's still a little parallax left deep inside you.
Sinestro likes to pick at that, doesn't he?
Yes. So yeah, they're all going to team up. But then we see, I don't know where Atrocitus is sitting with Dexter, but he's talking to, he called a little call to Lobo. Because, so basically, yeah, Lobo, or Atrocitus paid Lobo to stage the fight. So I guess so Hal and the others would side with them. Atrocitus says, I have my reasons. I paid for your services. Now go away.
Go away.
But I guess that's Lobo's payment, because we see Lobo has a red ring.
Yep, that is interesting. I'm sure that's not going to come back to haunt anybody.
Yeah, I can't remember where that comes back. So yeah, that's gonna, yeah, I would assume sometime before New 52. And then we see the origin. We get a little origin of Dexter. Basically adopted by this woman, but then she's killed in like a home invasion, and basically his name was Dexter, but he's on the streets, and like these two punks put him in a bag and try to like throw him off a bridge in New York, but then the ring finds him.
He has great rage in his heart.
Love it flies onto his tail. But then he's like, I will find talking about the lady you adopted. I will find the one who hurt you. I kill. I good kitty. All right. So thoughts?
This, I don't know, it feels a little, this New Guardian story, which is not to be confused with the New Guardians book, which comes out during New 52. Although this sets up a lot of that stuff. It seems like it's it's moving kind of slow, right?
Well, again, we got to drag it through a year of 24 Brightest Day issues too.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But again, it's so weird too because it's like, oh, during Emerald Twilight, all the Guardians died, and then Kyle resurrected them. But meanwhile, it's like, oh, the mysterious figure is some old Guardian or something that's been lost. It's like, well, where the hell were you?
When
Hal was possessed by Parallax, Cal was on his own.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think I know. I think I remember who this is. But do we want to spoil that?
I mean, we don't have. I mean, it's up to you, but.
Nah, we'll wait. But yeah, I don't remember where this person was during all of that.
Yeah, retcons are a tricky thing.
Yes, sometimes. Most of the time. Okay, all of the time.
All of the time, some of the time. All right. So, yeah, any thoughts? I know you love that Lobo stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was.
I mean, again, I'm sure it's like a sales tactic, and again, I guess we're dragging this out a little bit too. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think
we kind of gave an excuse for them teaming up with Atrocitus. So
yeah, I mean, I guess that was the point plot wise, is to give them a common enemy so that they would team up with Atrocitus. But I don't know that they needed that ultimately because the White Lantern said go do it, right?
Yeah, I thought just to solve the mystery, yeah, they'd be like, oh, okay, I guess we got to bring Atrocitus into this.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is a little. This seems a little slow right now. I mean, because we're 3 issues into Green Lantern since Blackest Night ended, and not a whole lot has happened, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And again, I guess it's like, now when we have the extra book, you're tied into the Brightest Day book. You kind of have to like save stuff for there. And like I said, we're stretching that out for their year.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so far, Brightest Day.
A lot of setup so far.
A lot of setup so far. It doesn't seem to have that focus that Blackest Night had, because it is very focused and it all came together. And, granted, we haven't seen the end of Brightest Day yet, but it seems much more spread out. There's less focus to it.
Well, I was going to say, is that because it's like, are they trying to be more dynamic and stuff? Because it's like Blackest Night was basically everyone becomes a zombie or everyone's fighting a zombie. But it's like with Brightest Day, it's like Aquaman's off doing his own thing and the Hawks are off doing their own thing. It's just
it does seem a little scattered at this point. And we don't know why they've been brought back or what their tasks are or things like that. So we'll see. But right now it doesn't. We've had a lot of pages devoted to Brightest Day so far, but still not a. It feels like it's all set up at this point. We haven't really. We don't know. Still don't know what's going on. But I'm sure we'll get there.
Yes, we will. All right. But next week, we're going to do all one book, Green Lantern Corps 48 through 52. And then in 2 weeks, we'll do more of one book, Green Lantern Emerald Warriors, the first 6 issues of that.
Okay.
And then the week after that, Brightest Day 2 through 7. Then a week after that, we'll do 8 through 12. Then the week after that, we'll do that Justice League, Justice Society crossover with Jade and Alan Scott, and that's the Starheart. It's still part of Brightest Day. So yeah, I mean, I wonder if it'll seem to flow a little more smoothly because like each week it's like, okay, next week we're doing all the Green Lantern Corps issues.
Chunks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It won't be jumping back and forth between 2 books. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the next 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, if you count the Justice League, Justice Society thing is kind of one. It's like, for a while, we're each week will be its own thing. Like Green Lantern Corps next week, Emerald Warriors next week, then 2 weeks of Brightest Day, just the Brightest Day book, then the Justice League, Justice Society, then the Green Lantern book again, and then after all that, we'll get to like Brightest Day, 2 issues of Brightest Day, a Green Lantern. Yeah, you know what? For the rest of the Brightest Day stuff, there's only like 1 more week where it'll be like a jumping back and forth. Most weeks, it's going to stay with 1 book. So,
well, when Brightest Day ends is about the time New 52 starts because I think Green Lantern has only about 12 issues left, and this is about the same for the Corps, right?
Yeah. Well, after Brightest Day, we'll get 4 weeks of War of the Green Lanterns.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a 3-issue Green Lantern Corps arc. There's 3-issue Emerald Warriors. And then there was going to be 2 weeks of Flashpoint specials.
Oh, I forgot about Flashpoint.
There's Flashpoint Aubin Sur, the Green Lantern, and Flashpoint Hal Jordan, both 3 issues. And then we get the New 52.
Gotcha.
Yep.
It's hard to believe that we've gone from 1990 Green Lantern #1, and within the next 5 months, we'll probably be hitting New 52, right?
Yeah, we'll start New 52. It'll hit the podcast not the last week of August, but the week before. So.
Oh, cool.
Yep. Yeah, episode 184. We'll start New 52. So.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're at one. Oh wait, so yeah, that's only 20 more weeks because this is 164. So 20 more weeks, we'll get the New 52.
Wow, and then things will move much slower.
Well, there'll be a lot more
books. We got a lot of books to cover at that point. We kind of have a lot of books to cover right now, right?
And again, at the end of the year, I mean, for our episode 200 and 201, we're doing Millennium Kids.
Yep, that's right.
Well, at least, we'll try to stay Green Lantern focused with that. And
because it was big and sprawling as well.
Yes. And then, of course, 202, the last episode of the year, yes, it will be the Larfleeze Special Kids.
That's right.
Probably going to move it around so it drops on Christmas Day. So
exactly.
which is a Wednesday this year, kids. All right.
Chronologically, it fits right around in here, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if it. I think it did it take place before Blackest Night and Brightest Day, or it's either that or it was either right before Brightest Day or right after or somewhere. So.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, William?
Nope. We may have to bake the Larfleeze cookies for that episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, in there's the recipe for them, and you can.
Oh, my wife's a baker. I'll be like, here. I'm like, what the hell's a Larfleeze? All I got to know is make them orange, dear. Make them orange.
That's right. Make them orange.
Just write mine on them. Mine. All right. So, yeah, like I said, next week we'll go through Green Lantern Corps 48 through 52. Maybe we'll get some more info on what Ganthet's up to, and maybe hopefully get some more John Stewart. A little more focus on John Stewart.
Because we only got bits and pieces of him for Blackest Night. I mean, Xanshi as a whole planet, Katmatui, yes, but that's something I think, and tell me what you think. But I feel like John hasn't really got much of an arc or much screen time.
No.
Since Rebirth.
Yeah,
nope.
I'm trying to remember. It's like I said, it's been a while, but I think maybe he gets a little more. Starts getting a little more attention here once we get starting next week. And again, I should have a review of War Journal next week. So.
Okay, cool, very cool.
All right, so kids. All right, send us your thoughts. Wait, you can win a Green Lantern prize pack. Darn it. So send in your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Buy some t-shirts, buy some phone cases. Again, you can rain random money on us with the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
And, of course, the Patreon, where, again, the new episode will be Lilith Hellfire's Conspiracy Theory. So, again, you do not want to miss that. So, find it all at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. It's down there in the show notes.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. Now for this Mr. Will Allred, the master of the Green Lantern Corps, master of the Quantum Zone, master of podcasting, master of several successful Kickstarter campaigns, one of which just ended. Mr. Will, where can people find all of your fantastic work?
Thank you. You can find me at Wallred. That's at WALLRED at Gmail and Twitter and Blue Sky and Facebook and probably Instagram and maybe some other places that I've set some stuff up and I don't even remember. But if you'd like to check out Crossover Division, which, like Phil said, thank you, just finished issue 5 on Kickstarter. We're going to be going to print soon on that. You can check it out at crossoverdivision.com. Or if you'd like to check out another book that I have written called Diary of Night, you can do that at diaryofnight.com. And finally, you obviously have great taste because you're here listening to Phil and I talk about Green Lantern, which means you probably love Marvel's Quasar almost as much as we do. And if you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org. I'll put it in my navel.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
He goes limp in my grip.
I hope it's going somewhere nice.
Because
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
I can't believe that got past the comics.
I know.
Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
And of course, how do we end every episode?
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
That's right.
Lobo may not, but Will does.
I did.
All right, thank you for joining us. Next week, Green Lantern Corps. Was it 48 through 52? Oh, so see what they do for issue 50. That might be an extra sized issue.
Maybe. I guess we'll see.
Probably no Maniac wearing $1 million. Well, that wasn't 50 anyway. But, oh, no.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah. This last one, yeah.
Yeah. And the one before that.
All right, kids, come back next time. And remember, Atrocitus and Lobo walked into a bar. They should have saw it coming. Good night.